new kid on the block in terms of economic growth in our city is technology. According to TechBlock, the local technology industry generates an annual economic impact of nearly $11 billion. That's up 27% over the last decade. The number of IT companies in San Antonio jumped 36% just in the last 5 years. That's a third increase from the number 5 years ago. One of the leaders of the tech scene here is Charles Woodin. He's CEO of Geekdom. And let me begin by asking you, Charles, to describe Geekdom to people who may not know about it. You've had great success, but give me the underlying strategy of Geekdom.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. So Geekdom is a place that helps create startups. That's our whole goal. And so we've been around for about 12 years now, and in that 12 years, we've helped launch hundreds of companies. Our goal is to build San Antonio one startup at a time, and our goal over the next 10 years is to launch 500 startups, with 75% of them calling San Antonio home.
How does that compare with what's happening in other cities in your understanding of the field?
I would say that we're still kind of in the early stages of growing this startup ecosystem here in San Antonio, but there's a lot of good groundwork that's been laid over the past 10 years just with some of the factors that you were talking about in the intro. And so for us, it's now capitalizing on that and utilizing other innovation hubs across the city, being able to combine all those and to help launch these next 500 startups, giving them a new place.
And Charles, I want to thank you personally because I've watched your work, and I know this wouldn't be happening without your personal vision and engagement. Describe for our audience the process. How do you identify companies that are worth your time in investing? And then the dynamic of what occurs to give them the support and create a successful exit, if you will, from the startup.
Of course, yeah. So we at Geekdom try to focus as early as we possibly can to find a founder who just has an idea but is a little bit too hesitant to talk about it. We have programs like Startup Weekend that help them get those ideas out and into the open. We get them into an incubator program where we help shape that idea, create a business plan, and help them do some market research. Get them into a pre-accelerator program. These are all housed within Geekdom, where they're able to then pitch that idea, get ready for funders, or get ready to go out into the market. And then we also have a community fund where we inject $25,000 into those early stage startups to be able to get them a little bit of funding, get them over a little hump, and get them out into the open. And we also help launch a cybersecurity accelerator this year, injecting $100,000 into 6 separate companies, and then helping them get connections locally to be able to get the next workforce and continue to grow that company.
Thank you, because that's the only effort that I know of that significance and that level of organization in our city. So the successes we will have in tech will be largely attributable to the dynamic that you've created. Tell us, as lay people, kind of what it feels like. What do you see when you see a business that has potential? What do you hear about an idea? Maybe using an example.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a great example. So there's a company based out of Geekdom, or that started out of Geekdom, called Float Me. I was there when they pitched that idea back in Startup Weekend in 2017.
And what was the idea?
The idea was that they were going to be able to help people avoid the predatory loan systems that are out there and help float them really small amounts of money to be able to get them over an emergency need. And what they do now is they're able to do that to help you avoid the costs of overdraft fees and things like that. And it's been amazing. They're exponentially growing every month, it seems. They've raised nearly $50 million in capital and have over 60 employees across 3 cities and are continuing to grow here in San Antonio. And it's all led by a Latino founder based out of the Rio Grande Valley by the name of Josh Sanchez. He's just doing amazing work.
Why was that a technology idea?
Because the way that they use it through an app to be able to connect people and to get those loans out to them really quick at rapid speed so that they avoid those emergency fees.
So this is a successful company now functioning in the economy at large.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, congratulations and thank you for the work. Keep it up, Charles. We need that sector to grow. Are you optimistic?
I'm very optimistic. We're currently tracking 104 startups that are a part of our ecosystem in some way, shape, or form. That's 100 out of that 500 we're aiming for. And the other promising thing is 68 of those 104 are led by minority or women founders, which is just really great to see the diversity of this city kind of coming out through that startup ecosystem.
Well, we need you on the job. Keep going.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Supported by Texas Mutual Insurance Company.